Okay, there's Val. Woohoo, let's go. We're here. Okay, take your feet all the way to the back of the mat. Take a nice big deep breath. I have my feet nice and wide and reach the arms as long as you can get them. And just hold on this spot for a second. Take your gaze, look up. And then we're going to fold nice and slowly all the way down. You're going to let your spine go into flexion. Let your head hang out, totally unweighting the upper body, with your legs straight if you can do it. Stay here and breathe a few more times. And now we're going to walk our hands all the way forward to the front of the mat. And then bring your shoulders over your wrists. You still have your feet wide. From here, we're going to go to a down dog. Pushing those heels down towards the floor. Big stretch for your calves here if your legs are straight. Hold on this spot. Elevate high on the toes. And lower the heels. And just sort of oscillate between the two. Now float back to plank. Put your knees down on the floor. Bring your knees and feet hip width apart. Wrists under your shoulders. Let's start some cat-cows here. So find your breath. When you round the back, you're taking in a breath. And when you're reversing it, you're exhaling out. Just keep going nice and slowly. Now hold your back arched. Let your head relax. So you're probably just looking down towards your knees. And with your back in flexion, we're going to shift the hips backwards over the heels. So you should have your toes tucked under. Come back forward, do some more cat-cows. Now hold your back once again in flexion, let your head relax, shift the hips backwards. And now we're going to take our hands and slide them out to the corners of the front of the mat. Keep your forehead off the floor. This is a big stretch for your lats. So your hips are back, but you're not sitting on your heels. Your spine is nice and long. Now take your left palm, flip it to face the ceiling, and lift the hand off the floor. Couple of inches. Then put it back down and relax. Open the right palm. Lift it. Reach the arm forward so you're reaching it long. And then keep oscillating side to side. Open, lift, reach. And then back down on the floor. Switch. Open, lift, reach. Really reach it. Keep going. It's really good for your shoulders. One more on each side. Now come back to all fours. We're going to meet in bear, so you're going to elevate off the knees. Just hold the pose. And now to a small dog. Heels are down. Back to bear. Oscillate between the two. Pushing the legs straight and the heels down, hovering the knees just above the floor. Two more. Okay, from your small dog, walk your hands back to your feet. You're going to inhale to a flat back. Straighten out the legs. Shift the hips backwards. Walk the fingers forward. Get a little tug of war going on. Big deep breaths. And then fold back down. Let it all hang out. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Nice, proud of the chest. Sweep the right arm up. Sweep the left one up. And then bring both of them parallel to the floor with your palms up. Push them backwards as best you can. And then bring them forward. Let the palms connect. And then open. And forward. And open. And one more time. Now bring the forearms together and then trace your ribcage, sweep back. Pull the elbows towards each other and then do it again. And then sweep back. And one more time. Try to connect those elbows and then sweep it back. And then make a fist, thumbs up, fold halfway down. Just hold the torso nice and long, parallel to the floor, and then come back up. Now be mindful when you do this to shift backwards when you start to fold. The other thing, of course, you gotta work on is the belly, right? We gotta get it up and in. Keep it active the whole time. Really good for you. Okay, release the arms. Pick up your right foot. Just hold the balance with the left arm up. Now, if you want to add on to this, you're going to start a hip hinge. You're going to fold all the way forward till your left hand touches the floor. And then come back up slowly. And then lift the arm all the way back up. And then release the foot, switch sides. You can either hold or you can add movement. Adding movement always makes the balance work a little more challenging. And release. Take the feet to the width of the mat, hands on your hips. Just shift side to side. So you're just going directly left to right, just to warm up your inner thighs a bit. And then we're going to circle back. And then go the other way. Make the movement as big or small, whatever works for your body. Okay, turn and face the right side of your room. Bring your hands out in front and take your feet nice and far apart. You're going to lunge right, come up and lunge left. Come up and right. No rounding of the back. Please don't drop the face. It's that booty you're trying to get low. Okay, now this time release the hands and touch your fingers to the floor. And then come back up and then do the same on the right side. Okay, now take your arms out in front parallel to the floor. Hold them there now as you lunge left to right. Okay, now hold the right lunge. Keeping the legs bent, you're just going to scoot over to the left. And then hold that one. And then scoot back right. And left. So your butt's staying down. And do it 2 more times. Okay, now come up with both legs straight. Relax the arms. Take it down so the top of the head just hovers above the floor. Nice big deep breaths. Great job. Inhale, extend the spine. Walk the fingers out. Shift your hips backwards. Get a little tug of war going on here. Okay, now turn your feet to face forward. You're gonna frame that left foot with both your hands. So you're in what we call a runner's lunge. You're gonna take the right palm to the floor. Bring your left palm inside that front foot, take it to the floor. Now lower the right knee down. You're gonna shift your hips back and forward. Back and forward. Nice and slow. Now, if it's bothering your knee on the floor, put a towel underneath. Do a few more. Now, hold the hips out in front. Fingertips only. Take your gaze, look forward. Let the hips come as far forward as you can. And then take that left hand to the knee. And then open. Use that hand to help you open that knee a little bit to the left. It's not big, it's pretty subtle. Now, come back, both hands down, step back, you're in plank. We're gonna just switch feet. So, right foot up, left palm down, bring that right hand inside, lower the knee in the back, and start to go all the way back with the hips. So you're straightening your leg, and then coming forward. Nice pace going forward and back. Now hold it forward, get on your fingertips, take that right hand to the right knee, open it a little to the right. Your hips are as far forward as they want to be. Great job. Both hands down, step back, you're in plank. And now we're going to oscillate between down dog and plank. Just a few times getting the arms ready. We're going to do some work for our arms. Lying down. Just do 3 more of these. Then you're going to grab the heaviest weights you have. We're going to start with chest presses. So here we go. Have a seat. You're going to end up with your legs bent, lying down on the floor with some big girl weights. I urge you to try new ones. You never know, right? Unless you try. So here we go. We're going to center these weights right above the chest. You've got that low back skin on the floor. Give me a little pelvic tilt up. Start regular presses, elbows going out to the side, touching at the top. Right now to start this, I'm keeping my palms forward. I'm going to do 8 nice, slow, steady reps. And then I'm going to add on by turning my palms to face each other for the next 8 reps. So 16 in total, nice and slow and steady. We're exhaling as we press up. We're inhaling on the way down. Make sure you keep the weights over the chest, not the face. You should be feeling this right in your chest. And I'm going to add that little turn of my hands at the top of the move so my weights touch and now my palms are facing each other. Then I open them to face forward as I lower. Do 8 like that. Make sure your wrists are neutral and you're not over squeezing. Okay, put them down. We're going to give our hands a little bit of a break. If you have a Pilates ring or a small ball, grab it, or a pillow. We're going to put it between the legs, bent legs still, working our inner thighs. So give me a big squeeze with your pelvis tilting up. And then release. And then squeeze. So it's really pretty slow. At least 3 counts in. hold the squeeze for 3 counts, and then open it back up at whatever pace you like. So bring it in, squeeze it, and then release it. Do it again. To start this, we have our feet on the floor, and your feet are wider than the width of your hips if you're using a small ball. Pilates ring, maybe hip width apart. Or even closer, you know, it's always good to play around with the angles. Switching things up is good to say, hey, what are you doing here? We don't normally do this like this. That's good for your body. Do 3 more of these, nice and slow. Really on you to make them hard. Okay, release the ball. We're gonna come back to that in a little bit, but right now we're just gonna rock the pelvis on the floor, no weights. So roll it forward and then roll it up. Work whatever range of motion you have. Such an important exercise for your pelvic area. Do a few more. Okay, rock and roll back up. Find those heavy weights. We're doing round 2 of presses, but this time we're going to change the angle of the arms getting down to the floor. We're going for a 45-degree angle. So I've got an upside down V at the top to start. And then the elbows come just 45 degrees out from my body. Do 8 nice and slowly with your wrists neutral. Squeeze that chest. Be really deliberate. And then at the top of the move, try to push up so the weights are closer, going up towards the ceiling. It works the back of the shoulders a little bit when you do that. So once you've done 8, nice and slowly, we're going to meet at the top. Hold on this spot just for a breath or 2. And then we're only going to come down halfway for the rest of the 8. So halfway down and back up. So you're just limiting the range of motion, switching things up a little bit. What's important here is that you hold the weights nice and steady. Okay, put them down, back to the side. Whew. Grab that ball or Pilates ring and do round 2 of inner thighs. This time we're going to take the feet off the floor. Just hover them with your low back skin on the floor. In and out with a 3-second hold. So hopefully you're feeling trembling right out of the gate. Now press that belly down and keep those knees forward. So they're not, you haven't moved your knees all the way in, right? The more you can get them moving forward, the more you're going to use your core, your 6-pack muscle. The minute you got multiple muscles working at the same time, you get a nice heart rate response and you make it more challenging. So explore, see if you can get those knees a little further out and keep squeezing. Makes it much harder, right? And if you need a break, bring the knees in and then just start again. We're doing 8 more, nice and slow. And when you're done, oh, that was hard, put it away. Now this time, we're just gonna take that one big heavy weight that you were using, and if you don't have heavy, then use two. But I'm gonna hold the ends of it, and I'm gonna do some skull crushers. So I've got the weight over the chest, arms straight, all my joints are stacked, wrist, elbow, and shoulder. I just bend at the elbow, let the weight lower towards the forehead, control it, and then pick it back up, just as slow. So we're gonna do 8, where you lower it all the way down to the forehead and then lift it back up very slowly. Then we're just gonna hold at the top and do it halfway. It's almost like a hold rather than wrap. Try not to over grip. So what you want to be paying attention to is going nice and slowly, but also making sure that the elbow stays over the shoulder and doesn't move back. That's what it wants to do. You should be feeling this in the triceps by now. Make sure you're going up at least on 3 to 5 counts. That's how slow. Okay, so on this next one, meet at the top. Make sure you got all the joints aligned, and then just take it down maybe a third of the way and just hold it. And then go up an inch and down an inch. Do not move the elbow to the shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Put that away. Whew. Okay, so I have my band, the small black one. I'm gonna wrap it just above my ankle, so go get it if you don't have it handy. Lying down, we're gonna work our outer hips a little bit here. So open out nice and wide, and then close on 5 counts. Open as fast as you want. Just make sure you're getting all the range of motion that you can before you start that 5 count close. Now you can point your feet or flex them, or you can switch between the two. You can also turn your feet out on a bit of an angle to switch up the emphasis of what muscle you're targeting. It's called exploring. You don't want these moves to get old, you just want to get stronger. So really fight for the range here before you start that close. You have 4 more to do slowly, and then we're going to pulse it out. Make sure the feet aren't getting close to the body, move them out. So you work your 6-pack. Like, why wouldn't we want to do that, right? Okay, hold it out and go out an inch and in an inch. Now just hold, try to get them wider, little wider, and bring those knees into the body for a nice little hug or a circle. Okay, come right back to round 2. Open out wide, pulse 5 times, out an inch, in an inch, and then close on 5 counts. Slowly. And then open as wide as you can, and then go out from that point. And then come in really slow. You have 4 more. And take it off the ankles, put it off to the side. We're gonna do a nice full body stretch here. So legs are straight, arms are straight, reaching the body in opposite directions. Point those toes so you get a nice shin stretch. Spread your fingers wide. Now bring the arms forward, lift your head, roll up, and then end up diving between your legs so your spine's in flexion. Nice. Now just hold here, take a few breaths. Okay, now sit it up. We're gonna do some lat pulls for our lats. So I like to just use one weight, the heaviest one that I have. I'm gonna lie back down. So I've got it vertical, whatever you like. Just make sure you're starting with the weight over the chest. Then take it back nice and slow. Bend your legs. Get your low back skin on the floor and keep your ribs nice and low. So you're really working the whole core down towards the floor. And then the arms are going back nice and slow. Keep your neck long and be flat on your shoulder blades. Keep pressing that stomach down. You're going back nice and slow. Arms stay straight. That's the most important thing with your ribs down. Okay, now take that weight and hold it on both ends. So you're just switching up your grip. So you really probably have your hands almost shoulder width apart. Belly down, low back skin on the floor, ribs are pressing down. Take the arms back. Even slower than you were doing when you were holding it vertically. Give me whatever range of motion you can. You have 4 more. Okay, put that aside. I'm gonna grab a quick sip of water. We're gonna do some flies. So maybe you go a little lighter, I'm not sure. You just wanna make sure you got room on both sides of the arms to not be bumping into anything. So again, we start with neutral wrists, low back skin on the floor, belly down, weight centered over the chest, arms are long. Here we go, out slow. And then bring them back together slow, squeezing the chest. Go out Maybe it's 5 or 6 counts out. 5 or 6 back in. And you might need to do a few of these in order to improve the range of motion, just to get the movement pattern into your brain. And then see if you can explore and open a little wider. Back of the arms getting down towards or on the floor. It's all about range of motion. Keep pressing the core down towards the floor. And again, this is also another exercise where people have a tendency to move the weights over their face. I want you to keep it over the chest. You have 5 more, nice and slow. Okay, put them down. We're gonna find ourselves in a bridge. No weights right now. So walk those heels close to your butt. Press up through the heels, lifting the hips, 1 vertebrae at a time. So just hold the bridge. With your arms down on the floor, palms facing the earth. Just pick up that right heel 1 inch off the floor. Try to keep the hips at the same height, both sides. Just lift the foot barely off the floor. So it's more of a transfer of weight from left to right than it is actually a movement. I want you to be steady and engaged through the belly. Just keep oscillating side to side. Now, if you've noticed your hips are getting closer to the floor, pick them back up. Keep them nice and high and squeezing. Okay, now when you get to the right foot, pull the right knee all the way in towards your chest, and then take that heel back down to the floor, and then switch. Left knee pulls all the way in, and switch. So now I'd like you to just be on your heels. So lift your toes off the floor. When the knee comes in, try to lift the hips a little higher up. And while you do that, try to get the knee a little closer in. So you're working a lot of different muscles here. So think of it as 3 or 4 counts to get the knee in, and then 3 or 4 counts to get the heel back down on the floor. Okay, now when you get the right knee in this time, press up through that left heel and then take that leg straight out beside the other quad and then pull it in. Stay on the same leg, take it out again till the leg is straight and then pull it in. Do it 3 more times. Out, in, out, in, and 1 last time. And now put the right heel down, keep the toes off the floor, switch sides. Left knee in. Left leg extends out long. Bring it back. And out. Keep your hips up. And in. And out. And in. And out. And 1 more. And relax the hips to the floor. Bring your knees into the chest. Hands on your knees. Make a nice circle. Big and wide. And then go the opposite way with the circle. Nice. Put the feet on the floor, hip width apart. Let the knees go to the right and then pick them back up and let them go to the left. and just sort of roll them from side to side. This is a little massage for the glutes. We're gonna get back up on our feet. We're gonna start working our glutes. So this is just a little reprieve. One more each way. Feels so good. Okay, extend the legs all the way out, arms all the way back. Pilates style it back up. Nice and slow. Diving between the legs. Great job. Okay, pick yourself up. So we're standing up. We're holding 2 weights, the heaviest ones you have. So I'm going to kickstand my right foot. And I've got the weights in my hand with really good posture, super important. So left leg is straight. I'm going to do 3 reps with my right foot in a kickstand position, weighting 80% of my weight into the left leg as I come down all the way to the floor with the weights and back up. No rounding of the back. Keep your spine long. Go down slow and up slow. Here's your 3rd. Now, if you can, do 5 of them lifting the back leg up as you come down. And if you find that too hard, either do it without weights or what's the other option? Go to lighter weights. Really slow down and then slow up. Last 3. Keep your back leg, if you're lifting the foot off the floor, keep it long and engaged. That's what helps you maintain balance. Finding muscle and bringing it to the party. Okay, switch sides. Kickstand the left foot, put 80% or more of your weight into the right leg as you come down. Keep the weights on either side of that standing foot. 2, nice and slow. 3, nice and slow. Then we try to do the last 5, lifting that back leg, getting it long and straight. Still keeping the weights close to the foot. If you move them way out in front, you're working more of your upper body. And this is an exercise that we really want to target the glutes. Remember to get that leg straight in the back. Whoops. Last 2. Last 1. We're going to finish class with a little planking. So let's put the weights down. Whew. That's never easy. Okay, fold the front part of your mat over so it's a little cushier for the elbows. Here we go. You're in your low plank position. Knees off the floor, legs straight, push the heels back, hold and breathe. Put the knees down on the floor. Don't change anything else. Pick them back up. Push your legs straight, get the belly in. Softly lower the knees. Keep everything else the same. Lift back up. Softly lower the knees. Pick them back up. Push your heels back, get those legs straight. Belly up and into the spine, neck long. 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's enough for planking. Let's meet back on our back. Woo. So heels to the corners, take it down nice and slow, Pilates style. Full body stretch when you get there. Okay, you're gonna take your hands, clasp your fingers together. You're gonna lift your chin towards the chest. So your head is off the floor. You're gonna drop the elbows back. You're gonna bend both knees. Pelvic tilt up so you've got that low back skin on the floor. This is a crunch hold. That's all you're doing. You're driving the belly down. You're remembering to breathe. You're not pulling on the head. You're using your six-pack muscle to lift those shoulder blades off the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, put your head down. Now, for those of you that were pulling on your neck, we're going to stretch it back out, so go side to side. I know it's hard not to, but that's why we like to drop the elbows back, because it makes you focus on form, really, and not pulling the head. Let's try it one more time. Lift the head, clasp the fingers together, tuck that chin, draw the elbows back. The pelvic tilt up, low back skin on the floor. So to ramp this up, if it's not hard enough, you're going to pick both heels up off the floor 1 inch, just an inch. 5, 4, 3, 2, take it down. That's a challenging move. Relax, stretch out the legs, take the arms all the way back so you get a big stretch for your six-pack muscle. Now we're going to come back and add on, excuse me, one more time. The add-on is going to be a little rock of the knees, forward and back 1 inch. But what's important is that you keep your belly pressing down and the low back skin on the floor. So clasp the fingers, lift the head, tuck the chin, drop the elbows back, pelvic tilt up, draw the belly down, both heels come up just an inch, and then you rock them very slowly, like slow motion, just an inch forward and an inch back, while you keep that back down and your elbows back. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Big stretch. Okay, it's all over but the crying. Bring those arms forward. Figure 4 stretch. Right foot on left thigh. Pick up that left knee, draw it into the chest while you move the right knee forward. Try not to use the arms. Just hold. Put that foot down and then the right. Switch it. Left foot on right thigh. Right knee in. And release it. Rock and roll all the way up onto your toes. We're going to take it to a full forward fold. You're going to look through your knees, totally unweighting the upper body. Now roll up slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. Take a nice big deep breath. And I thank you so much for your power and strength. Woohoo! Go start your day. We're done. Good job.
Thank you. Have